Dylan Cruz today, and via his efforts, we've got audio we can react to from President Paul Toboni, manager Blake Butera, and Cruz himself from this afternoon. So I wanted to go through some of this. Big story of the day in DC sports, the return of the number 2 overall pick, who's expected to be one of the pillars of this franchise. You know, if you're talking about the foundation and the columns holding up the 4 corners of this organization, James Wood's one of them. Dylan Cruz is expected to be another, and he's been in Rochester trying to work out some of the things that this team said he needed to improve upon. We'll get into what those were. Let's start with manager Blake Butera, though, on the return of Dylan Cruz to the Washington Nationals as he met with the media today.
Yeah, that nothing to do with it. If we had an injury 2 weeks ago and he was playing his tail off, he would have been up 2 weeks ago. We always say, like, you should do right by the player and, more importantly, do right by the team, and we want to win games up here.
So that's Paul Toboni on, I'm assuming, whether or not calling him up now had anything to do with saving a year of service time. Look, I'll take Toboni at his word that wasn't a factor. I just have a hard time believing that they would have not considered that when making the decision. You didn't send him to the minors from the idea, for the perspective of saving a year, but when he goes down, he's not dominating. He's down there for a little while. Now you look at the calendar and you go, hey, if we wait till May 13th, we get another year of him without him hitting free agency. That's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
100%. It may not have been the initial plan or reason or design, but that's certainly how it worked out. Like, when he was sent down, we wondered and posited at the time, is this 2 weeks? Is this a month? Is it 6 weeks? Ended up being longer than both.
All right, this is Blake Butera on the return of Dylan Cruz.
I'll start with Dylan. So Dylan, he, over the course of the last couple weeks, I think he's probably played in 11 games, and he's just been torching the ball. I think he's got close to 20 balls hit over 100 miles per hour in this last.
That was also Paul Toboni.
This, too, was Paul Toboni.
All right, I tell you what.
By the way, great prank dares.
Let's just rub dirt on this thing. Do we want to keep doing this? Do you want us to do something else? Do you want you good over there? Like, what's happening? The great thing is Darius takes this very seriously, which I appreciate. He's like, he's really good at this. The first time he was like all frazzled, and he's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I got you. Don't worry. And I'm like, you good? We're ready? And he's like, yeah. And then he played it, and he's like, giving me a thumbs up. He's like, see, I'm back. And I'm like, this is still not Blake Butera, bro. This is also Paul Toboni. And he's like, wait, what do you mean you said Blake Butera? I'm like, Blake Butera is different than Paul Toboni. How you doing over there? Everything fine? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I immensely, Paul Toboni talked first, so I was thinking we were going to Toboni cuts first. I should have listened to you.
No. I'll tell you what. You tell me what clip you want to play, and then I'll work off that.
I'd like to play the clip where Butera talks about Dylan Cruz returning.
This is Blake
to the
Butera?
Nats. Yeah, Blake Butera, the manager.
Right, play a Paul Toboni.
If this is Paul Toboni, I'll lose it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to lose it.
Blake Butera on the return of Dylan Cruz.
I think a lot of excitement. Obviously, we all know what Dylan can bring to the table and who he is as a person, a player, all the above. Just excited with the way he was swinging the bat in AAA and the defense he was playing as well. I feel like he's in a really good spot right now, and excited to see him do it here at the major league level.
What did that first conversation with him look like?
He was pretty emotional about it. He was excited, really excited. I think just going back to the conversation we had, obviously disappointing at the end of spring training with him not breaking with us, but also talking through what we wanted to see and how important it was for him to get right in AAA rather than fight for his life up here, right? And to be able to go down there and do the things that he did and get on this role he's been on. The numbers are pretty good, but also he's hit some balls really hard right at people, and he's had some pretty unlucky results. But the defense has been a lot better. All the things that we asked him to get better at, he went and did. A huge credit to that AAA staff for the work they put in as well. And, excited to see him do his thing here.
Cruz hitting .291 in May, hits in 9 of his last 11, a couple homers over his last 12 games. This is the manager, Blake Butera, expecting a rotation in the outfield. We've talked about having Lyle, who you want to play every day, Wood, who you want to play every day, Cruz, who you want to play close to every day, and still having one of the platinum glove defenders in center field in all of baseball and Jacob Young. So how do you make that work?
It'll create a type of a rotation for a bit. One thing that is nice about this, it'll get Woody and Dale in some DH days, which would be nice. They've been playing a ton. They've been on their feet a ton, so getting them a DH here and there would be helpful.
And now the moment Darius has been waiting for. Danny, this will be Paul Toboni.
Do we have any Paul Toboni clips?
Paul Toboni on Cruz trusting this new regime's process. Think about this, Danny. They're just learning Dylan Cruz. They're just getting to know him. You show up at spring training. You're trying to build this rapport with a guy who's going to be really important to the organization. And then you send him to the minor leagues, and you're like, trust us, man. We're going to help you. But we got to fix some things here. Toboni talking about that.
To me, it starts with a huge education component, right? And that's a two-way street, right? It's like, hey, Dylan, we don't just want you to do these things. We're not just going to shove these things down your throat and tell you to do them. We're going to tell the whole story as to why, right? Like, we think this is the best for you. And then if he has questions on it, right, like, let's have a completely open conversation so that when we get to a point where we're committing to a path forward, like the coach is really aligned, the coaching staff is really aligned, Dylan's really aligned, so that the work every day can reflect whatever it is that we agreed upon. But I say it's a two-way street because what we really want, too, is Dylan's feedback, like, hey, guys, I tried this my junior year at LSU, and I sucked. Like, I don't want to do this, By the way, he did not suck. But that's like, that's like the dynamic that we want to create. And I think if we're doing a good job, Dylan trusts, like, deep down inside that we're just fully committed to helping him realize the best version of himself. And if he has any questions that, like, the motives or otherwise, like, we want to hear from him because it's not just about, like, hoping that these next couple weeks go well. It's like, 2, 3, 4 years from now, Dylan's going to be in the middle of this. Like, how does he look back on those conversations 2, 3, 4 years ago?
Such a good point, too.
Yep.
If this goes really well, this could not only be important for the relationship with Cruz, where he looks back and goes, I appreciate the tough love early. I like that you guys did that. You made me the player I became. But also, other guys could look at that. Right now, Brady House goes down. If he sees in the next month Dylan Cruz takes off and some of the adjustments work, rather than being salty and upset that you got sent down, maybe you go, all right, this worked for Dylan Cruz. Maybe it can work for me.
Yeah, this is a 7-week footnote, potentially. You know what I mean? Or it could be the thing that defines you, and you hope that it's not that. You hope that it's, when Mike Trout was up and then got sent back down and turned into one of the great players of all time. A lot of guys have taken it, and it's not the most fun thing to hear. You didn't make the major league club, guy with all the expectations, who's on all our brochures and tickets, and there's a mural of on the left field wall and probably has a bobblehead. But what do you do about it, right? And he got to work, and that's kind of a testament to him. And you can hear that shine through in both those guys' comments. We have both Blake Butera and Paul Toboni. Did you know that?
I've heard Paul Toboni
both those guys
spoke today, and Darius was super excited about it. Here's Dylan Cruz, not Paul Toboni, although he might play Paul Toboni. Nobody knows. But Dylan Cruz is excited to be back.
Feels good. Feels good to be back here. We had a lot of hard work going into this past couple months down in AAA, but yeah, man, it's a great feeling coming back here. Makes you realize that it's special being here.
Dylan Cruz speaking today about you do realize you take it for granted a little bit when you're up here.
Yeah.
You just think I'm going to be a big leaguer for the rest of my career, and then you're down at Rochester riding a bus for 6 hours, and you're going, damn, this stinks. So he talked about that, which I thought was cool, on what his priorities were, what he was trying to fix at the 3A level.
Yeah, I mean, main thing was approach, really. Getting the swing off in the heart of the zone. Standing a little bit taller, not trying to get into the legs as much. Getting the ball in the air as well, too, because, with the numbers, it shows that I make a lot of good contact in the heart of the zone, so just trying to get that good contact in the air.
The other thing that's cool for Cruz, I talked about this on Bustin' Loose Baseball with Toby Altizer. We dropped a new ep today that I enjoyed was he's coming up and not having to be a hero. You're joining the number one offense in the sport.
That's such a good point.
You got a lot of guys hitting. You got a lot of guys scoring. This is the offense that's averaging the most runs per game. This team's already overachieving. They're playing about 500 ball. A lot of guys are feeling good. Last year, it was like James Wood, Dylan Cruz, pressures on you guys because it was the number 20 offense in the sport, and they just weren't very good. Get in where you fit in, man. Cruz on watching the Nats from afar.
It's been awesome to see from the outside. Looks like everybody's been swinging great. Everybody's been playing great, and just want to add to that and help the team out as much as I can. So it's been awesome to watch the culture and the intensity, the aggressiveness that we show. So like I said, I just want to help the team out as much as I can and just add to that.
Let's predict how this is going to go for him with this promotion. Also, I want to hear from Paul Toboni. Darius will be excited about that. About the demotion of Brady House. Why did they send him down? What does he need to work on? We're going to play clips from him, even if we call for other clips, about that next on